anything can happen. Probably will. Humans.
Islam.
Islam.
What is Islam to you? Like, how would you define Islam?
I don't think anyone should stone women to death, and they do that, so I don't approve.
Okay. All right. What else? What else you got?
It makes the face very serious. It makes communication unpleasant when they're in their mask.
Okay. What do you mean, like this?
Yes.
Okay.
Because they are receiving everything and giving nothing back.
Ooh, that's a perspective.
We communicate with our whole face.
Okay.
And when they are receiving, and I have to allow them because they're in the shop and they have what I want, so I need to endure this intimidating.
So you feel something like it affects you in a certain way when that woman, for example, a woman is cut off from you.
Not respected, not connected, put down, not honored.
What if you saw a woman wearing all black and wearing a face veil, and then she was rollerblading? And she was rollerblading like a mother. Like, she was rollerblading like in the street, on the sidewalk, weaving between. What would you think of her then? What would you feel?
I'd remember the Muslim girl doing the Olympics in the running race.
Okay.
At the back. Because she was not dressed appropriately. She had to wear a big baggy shirt and big baggy shorts so she couldn't run well, and it was like so sad. So the woman on the rollerblades would probably do better if she was dressed according to the nature, the weather. The weather that's happening in the moment.
So how long have you had this feeling about women who are Muslim specifically covering? Like, when was the first time you noticed it and noticed how you felt about it?
When I began to disapprove of the way it reduces their experience as a human. Reduces their experience as a human. They're not in touch with the nature. They're not swimming in the appropriate, best possible things to swim in.
Okay. So for you, it's cutting off the connection with nature. Nature being people, nature being the environment.
Not so much people.
Okay.
The environment.
Okay.
The animals. The body in general.
Okay.
Intelligence. They're not eating intelligently. They're eating in a dull way.
You mean through their bodies?
I mean the amount of meat they put in their bodies makes them less than what they could be. And it's part of their code. It's part of their obedience. They're taught from the first breath.
You're saying that meat is a part of Islam, almost like you're supposed to eat meat.
Definitely.
Okay, I'm listening. This is interesting.
Definitely. They're forbidden to do things that cause them to be their full potential.
It's interesting because there was a man at the time of, we say Prophet Muhammad, and he didn't want to eat meat. And he asked Prophet Muhammad, is that okay? And he said, that's fine. If you don't want to eat meat, you don't have to eat meat. He was vegetarian.
So the reference point is if we go back to the guru.
To the guru
of any religious cult, spiritual cult. We go to the prophet, to the originator, to the Buddha.
Okay.
Then we got clear connection. We don't look at the disciples because the disciples are not clear.
Okay.
So you're referencing the guru, the prophet, the teacher, the guy that established that lifestyle.
Basically, the idea is that it was a continuation. The idea is that Muhammad didn't come with a new message, but he came with the message that all of the prophets before, that Jesus came with, that Moses came with, that whoever brought the Upanishads came with, that if you look at Akhenaten, who I'm probably saying his name wrong, the husband of Nefertiti, he told the people, don't worship the sun, worship the one who made the sun. Or in ancient China, we had the Chinese, 2,000 years before Confucius, 2,000 years before Buddha, they were worshiping Shangdi. And Shangdi was a god that made the universe, who was not to be depicted in any way, shape, or form in physicality. And they would bow down on the ground and surrender to that one only and none else. So what I see is that throughout history, from the beginning until now, there's a clear chain of one God, one creator, without depiction. Even when we look in the Bible, even though the Bible's been changed, but I'm looking at this dog. He was about to run the dog over. Jesus said, "Hear, O Israel, know that thy Lord God is one, and love him with all thy heart, all thy mind, all thy strength." Like, love him completely. To me, that is Islam. That is Islam. The surrender to the one creator and the guidance that comes from that one. And yes, there are people who oppress women, but I do see that oppression doesn't only come with covering women, it can also come with making women naked. So we see that women have been commodified in Western culture. We see that men are driven to see women and seek women for their bodies, for what they can do for them sexually, and not for their mind and not for their soul. And so when we see women who are Catholic, who are nuns, who are covered in a certain way, I don't see that society generally criticizes them. It's understood that, oh, they're like the mother of Jesus. The mother of Jesus wore and dressed in a certain kind of way. I don't think that any woman should be forced to do it. I think it should come from her own free will. And in my case, it comes from my free will. Last thing I want to say to you is that with every limitation comes a corresponding expansion. So when you mentioned the Olympics, that was a beautiful example, because I often think of Islam as a kind of spiritual Olympics. If I'm in the Olympics, the type of training that I have to go through, I am not going to be able to drink when everyone else drinks. Not that I drink anyway, but I'm saying, for example, I'm not going to be able to go out and hang out late nights and wherever. I'm going to have to have such a rigorous schedule that's so tight and so strict and so narrow compared to the other people. Why? Because I need to be able to then expand into my highest potential. What I see from my studies of Islam for like 20 something years, or probably longer since I was a child, so 30 something, is that it is a kind of spiritual Olympics. So you do things that others don't do. When you met me, you said you're not like the rest. So it's like, yeah, like you do things that others don't do so you can obtain what others may never obtain. And you get that gold, that spiritual gold. So that's what I would have to say about that. I didn't think we were going to go in that direction. How do you feel now?
You going to edit this?
I don't know. I don't know if I'm even going to post it. We'll see. But I'm appreciating your openness, and I'm appreciating. I love that you just shared from your heart like what you felt, because we all have perceptions, and I wanted to know your perception, and you shared that with me. So I appreciate you.
Because none of them are going to go away. Meaning the big established religious societies, they're here to stay. Islam's here to stay. The Jews are here to stay. The Christians are here to stay. The Buddhists are here to stay.
Yes.
They're the main ones. They're the biggies. So they're here to stay.
Yes.
So if we're connected to that which is always already the case, the unborn and the deathless, if we know how to come out of the mind and connect directly, we will take whatever is applicable for our realization in our human experience, wherever it comes from. And if something becomes obsolete, we're allowed to drop it.
if something becomes absolute real. Absolutely. I was gonna ask you a question. Hold on 1 second. I'm gonna put a mic on you, and I want to ask you, what does being a wizard mean to you? We're gonna talk about that.
The wizard question.
The wizard. I love it. You have such a great energy, though.
It is. I really worked on it this morning. 'Cause I got a few neighbors that are like in the workshop. Increase the pranic level in the space for their own personal